What is up, new UNE and vultures? I am just a simple Newtype, and in this episode we are concluding After Colony Gundam X. Last time, Garad went into space to find Tifa, who was taken to the colony Cloud 9. SRA tried to steal his mobile suit, and DX was almost destroyed, but was saved by the G-Falcon. This episode, the 8th Space War begins. New UNE, SRA, and the Freedom crew race to the moon. They find the first Newtype. And you're damn right this series ends with a bunch of people talking. Congratulations! Now let's get into this. Satellicon is an anti-government group that opposes Newtypeism. They get Garad medical attention, and the colony's SRA has a parade. But Tifa tells Nicola that something bad is about to happen. Nicola tries to tell Seidel, but he doesn't listen, at least until the bomb goes off. Then he starts to listen. The attack was done by Satellicon, so they decide to respond with their own assault. Garad wakes up to a pair of boobs he isn't used to. The girl tells him that he has been out for 5 days. Her name is Paula Sis. They will fix his mobile suit if he agrees to help them in a battle against Cloud 9. She tells Garad that the Gundam and the G-Falcon can dock. Paula, like Garad, grew up in a bad post-war environment, not really knowing her family. SRA plans on testing inhumane weapons on Satellicon before using them on Earth. They fixed up DX. Paula gives them a normal suit because of, space. Did Garad forget that? SRA begins their attack. Watch out for those croutons! Garad and Paula launch. As they launch, their ship is destroyed. The new croutons are more powerful than expected, but Garad learns to shoot them in their holes. Lancero joins the battle. He asks, "How's Jamil doing these days?" He tells him that Jamil isn't with New UNE and is trying to help Newtypes. The SRA fleet launches reflex missiles and takes out Satellicon, which I assume are nukes. They need to run, but DX's verniers are shot. Paula docks with the Gundam, and they get out of there. Paula is sad that she lost another home. Meanwhile, SRA is planning Operation Dahlia, which they plan on using a colony laser on Earth. Lancero wished that he met Jamil and other rogue Newtypes earlier, so he wouldn't be in this situation currently. Seidel still refuses to believe that Tifa is a Newtype. She calls him a weak bitch and then passes out. The confidence this girl exudes, man. Some of you 40-year-old weebs need to get on this little girl's level. Lancero tells Nicola that the Gundam is still out there. The two show real concern for Newtypes. SRA prepares the laser. Garad launches and gets a line of sight on the moon. The G-Falcon runs distraction while Garad fires the satellite cannon. He misses. It takes 17 minutes to fire again. He was just firing a warning shot. They demand they hand over Tifa or they will destroy it. Seidel gives in to their demand. Once they have Tifa back, Garad says, "Just kidding," and fires again, destroying the colony laser. Tifa and Garad are finally reunited. Calm down, it's only been 5 episodes. Also, Fei Wong be damned. They head back to Earth, but they're unfortunately met with the Frost Brothers and New UNE. DX stalks with G-Falcon and fights Shagia. He tells Garad that the Freedom crew were thrown into an internment camp. This isn't the first time in Gundam we've seen a crew happy and making the best of internment camps. G-Falcon and DX split apart. They're overwhelmed. Orba threatens to crush Paula. They capture them and take them to meet Bloodman. New UNE was planning on intercepting the attack by SRA. Garad will tell them what he knows of the SRA if they free the Freedom crew. Meanwhile, Shaggy and Orba think to one another. Bloodman has a secret. It would be a shame if Tifa read his thoughts. With the help of Tifa, we learn that the New UNE is trying to get their hands on D.O.M.E. D.O.M.E was also mentioned by SRA as well. We will learn what this is soon. They know that New UNE just wants to use Newtypes as tools and are equally as bad as SRA. Before getting executed, the Freedom crew are saved by the Vertigo. It is Karis Nautilus. He brings them their mobile suits as well. Jirak cold climate types also help out against New UNE. They all work together to take down New UNE. Karis tells the Freedom crew that Garad is back on Earth and in the hands of Noon. They have to go save him. Garad, Paula, and Tifa break out of captivity and find the Gundam and G-Falcon. The Frost Bros chase after them. Orba is piloting the Hermit Crab, and Shagia is using the new chest brake. The NRX 0015 HC Gundam Astron Hermit Crab is the upgraded version of Astron and can be used in space. This has improved propulsion and a larger backpack. The mobile armor form is as fast as G-Falcon. This has the satellite launcher, which is on the level of the satellite cannon, but must be used with Versago chest brake. The atomic scissors have been replaced with the gigantic scissors installed in the backpack. This can crush the Cruda. It also has a beam cannon mounted between the pincers. Other weapons include a beam saber and a machine cannon. The NRX 0013 CB Gundam Versago chest brake removes the inner frame of the old model and replaced with tubing that gives limbs flexibility. The wings allow it to function as a satellite system with the help of Gundam Masteron Hermit Crab. Its only new weapon is a triple megasonic cannon, which is a 3-barrel cannon over a single barrel, like the old model. Other weapons include a beam saber and a strike claw that could shoot claw cannons. DX and G Falcon undock, but Orba grabs the Gundam. They are shot. It is the Frieden crew coming to help. The brothers retreat. Paula joins the Frieden crew. Gorad tells them of everything, but they still don't know what this dome is. The Frost Bros tell Bloodman that they killed Aimzak to get closer to him and fuel his ego by saying that they think he should be the rightful ruler. Bloodman doesn't believe that new types are the next step in human evolution, but rather tools for the old guard to use. The Frost Bros agree but are feeding into his delusions. While talking, we see a hawk catching its prey. Guys, it's a metaphor. Seidel arrests Nicola for treason. All he said was, maybe we should wait to go to war. Many of the new UNE High Command also want to postpone this war as well. Anyways, let's all get into this one shuttle. The Frost Bros decide to test their new satellite launcher on the shuttle, killing all of the people who oppose Bloodman. Throughout this part of the story, the Frost Brothers make it apparent that they are in control. Roy attaches the G-Falcon. He says, oh man, is this what it's like to have a flying mobile suit? I've been missing out. The new UNE is about to start the new space war. After the colonies dropped, nuclear winters engulfed the Earth. Tanya mentions that she didn't see the sun until she was 7 years old. Nicholas sends a message to Lancero. He says, if you are seeing this message, then I probably have been executed for treason. He says to Lancero to try to find a peaceful outcome for new types. Seidel personally joins the SRA fleet so he could find D.O.M.E. Witz gives Tanya a ring. Anil says, boy, I wish someone would give me a ring. Wink, wink. Gorad and Tifa finally kiss. While briefing for the upcoming battle, Tifa stops moving. Her new type spirit searches for D.O.M.E. When she wakes, she says that she must go to the moon. At that same time, they learn that SRA is changing course towards the moon as well. They plan on taking the old UNE moon base. Karis and the Fort Severn crew won't give them access to their mass driver system because they don't want to get involved. Fort Severn is the only nation that doesn't seem to yield their power to new UNE. The moonbase has its own defense system in the form of G-bits controlled by D.O.M.E. This is the G-bit D.O.M.E. The FX9900D G-bit D.O.M.E. are bits similar to GX bits, which can also utilize the satellite cannon, and it also has the flash system. This fires a rapid burst attack as opposed to a concentrated beam energy. It also only has 2 satellite dishes instead of the 4 like GX bits. Its other weapon includes a chest beam cannon. Lancero wonders who is controlling the bits. While engaging with him, the new UNE fleet joins the battle. Karis helps the team steal a ship, and they take off from the mass driver system. They call this new ship the Frieden II. The Frieden II was originally a ship at Fort Severn's New Orleans military base. It is equipped with double beam cannons, twin missile launchers, and anti-air laser machine guns. It also has a beam deflection field generator. They head into space as the 8th Space War begins. Earlier, Roy says to Sarah, so should we hook up since we might die? But it seems that she has unrequited feelings for Jamil. The battle wages on when more bits are activated. The Frost Brothers are fighting against Lancero. The satellite cannon is activated by Gorad. Everyone gets the hell out of the way. The Frieden crew moves in. Anil stays behind to protect the ship. SRA and New UNE attack the Frieden crew. Jamil is surrounded by the Datrus Neo. The NRX 018-2 Datrus Neo is the next generation of mobile suits for New UNE. The Datrus Neo can fly in Earth's atmosphere without changing equipment. Its main weapon is the beam cutters in each forearm. It also uses the same beam rifle as the Valiant. Gorad is fighting with the Frost Brothers. And Tifa is there too, I guess. She senses great hatred in the world. The two brothers complain about how hard their suffering was. Gorad tells the two to grow up. Orba grabs him while Shagia fires his chest cannons. Jamil tries to save DX, but he doesn't need to. Lancero comes in to help the Frieden crew. Gorad heads to the moon base while the rest fend off New UNE. The bits don't attack DX and allow them to land near the base. Bloodman realizes it is the bits that are protecting the base. Everyone converges on the moon base. Lancero and Jamil meet face to face for the first time. They learn that D.O.M.E. is the first new type ever. Naturally, once humanity realized the existence of new types, they tortured and dissected them. Patient Zero, known as D.O.M.E., is essentially a brain in a jar. This was done by the old UNE, and Bloodman of course knows of this. Jamil gets in between both SRA and New UNE and says that they're just both awful. However, Tifa knows that D.O.M.E. isn't dead. She decides to ask D.O.M.E. the answers to what went wrong 15 years ago. Shaggy and Orba destroy the bits. They transform to use their satellite launcher. D.O.M.E. says, welcome to the new type realm, you nerds. He tells them that new types are an illusion. Power and evolution are not the same. He frames it as though he was merely a mutation that should have come and gone. When One thing D.O.M.E knows for certain is that new types aren't going to shape humanity like the new UNE wanted, and they aren't something to be idolized like SRA does. Jamil said he once saw time. Certainly that wasn't an illusion. D.O.M.E says it was an illusion because one must take the steps to make it a reality. He uses Garad as an example. Many times Tifa saw a future where danger was about to happen, and Garad stopped that reality from coming true. Jamil realizes that he is the one being held prisoner by his idealism as well. This is such a solid lesson for everyone. But then D.O.M.E says, "My job is done here. I'm leaving now." Just hit you in the head with a generic cliche after a touching moment. So much whiplash. Roy looks at Sarah and says, "Yeah, this doesn't look like it's happening, huh?" This was all happening in the Newtype realm, apparently. Back in the real world, the Frost Bros fire their satellite launcher and kill Seidel and Bloodman. Even after the nice little Newtype chat, they still wanted to kill each other, probably for the best. That is when Garad faces off with the two once and for all. Garad says you should really meet D.O.M.E. Pretty cool guy. Or Spirit Ball thing? The Frost Bros and Garad activate their satellite systems at the same time and fire. The blast creates a giant fireball, and we see the moon base and the Flash system satellite destroyed. We're done. Cut to the epilogue. You get no more answers. 6 months later, Karis goes to find himself. There are still small-scale conflicts on Earth and in space. Jamil and Lancero try to find peace. Jamil is with his trusted partner, Sarah. The Freedom crew are working as Junkers now. Witz takes Tanya to meet his family. Roy is with Anil. The better choice anyways, if we're being honest. Garad and Tifa travel the world. Also, those dicks the Frost Bros are still alive. The world of new types have come to an end. And that will conclude After Colony Gundam X. I remember liking this 20 years ago, but rewatching it, I kind of love it. The story ends with killing the idealism of Newtypeism. It's an ego death moment, which is very Joseph Campbell. A little rushed at the end, and the middle gets a little too monster of the week, but overall, this is solid. Now that we have covered Gundam X, we dive into the sequel series. Under the Moonlight, 9 years have passed. Junkers find a black Gundam X, and an organization is trying to rebuild D.O.M.E. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, the moon will always be there. Peace.